Hanoi. We have received many submissions. Some were commendable and some were impressive.
Just yesterday, I injured my knee when I fell down the stairs because the stairs gave way. What will happen if my children get hurt
and I'm the mayor of Hanoi. Since young, I have believed that the Hanoi Quarter has the potential to set a global standard for being an eco.
Good morning everyone. We are from River Valley High School. Our group name is Une Nouvelle Hanoi, which means a new Hanoi in French.
For lighting, we propose a water bottle lighting system. Let's see how the system looks like. Now let's watch a video on how the system works. Good morning, judges, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow students. I'm Amy from ACS International, and today we'll be presenting on the Clean and Green Township in Hanoi's Old Quarter. The Old Quarter is a reminder of Hanoi's great history, which contains conquerors and traders over the past 1,000 years.
Despite the housing prices in Old Quarter Hanoi being expensive, developers have to bear in mind of the importance of conserving the area's heritage. New buildings remove the charm of the area and lowers the attraction as a conservation district.
So what is if I may ask, what is the biggest takeaway or learnings that maybe some of you may get doing for this project?
And what we recognize is that there's a very fine line which we need to tread with regard to balancing all those needs.
I think an additional thing is that we're taking ourselves out of the perspective of just Singaporeans, but looking at very different, very foreign kind of areas, and how we balance their own needs and their own requirements based on their context.
With a densely populated city like Hanoi, an effective public transportation network will be best to serve the people's transportation needs. Hanoi's population is 6.5 million, which does not differ much from Hong Kong's population of about 7 million. Traffic lights should be built in almost in every other street to ease chaos on roads. Secondly,
education. One way we can reduce pollution for Hanoi's future is by educating the youth. We can do this by holding sessions in schools and by putting up posters in parks and by advertising on the television. Thank you.
I think at first slide you flashed about education, and I'm glad you brought it up because that's very important. Instead of just hard changes, you're touching the heart changes in terms of attitudes of people. And do you agree that that is one of the biggest things, the most difficult things to change? Yes.
I noticed there were some interesting references to borrowing ideas or models from other countries or other cities like Singapore. So in the course of your research, when you were learning more about Hanoi, are there certain things that you found were not suitable to bring to Hanoi because of its local context?
Our suggestions for Hanoi is to have more museums, such as national museums, antique museums, science, art, and more children parks built around the center of the city, the old part of Hanoi, and around the lakes.
So our vision for Hanoi is for the government to give support and funding for these industries so that they can prosper and grow.
We propose transforming Hong Kong Lake into a stormwater collection pond. We will propose a filter plant built near the lake to filter the water in the lake. Another water source we'll be obtaining water from the Red River, which has its origins from a mountain.
Thank you for that very delightful presentation. I think all of you can be our future engineers of Singapore,
Thank you. I think you're the youngest group here, am I right? Secondary 1 or 2? 2. When you all did this project, did you learn anything, or I wouldn't say learn anything, but how much of your learning in the classroom did you bring to bear once you did this project? What you learned in Set 1 or currently in Set 2? How much of that did you bring?
We actually used our secondary 2 geography as our main component because we learn more of the physical settings and the environment that interacts with mankind. So we learn more about pollution and land usage, so it comes very in handy. And also for history, we also learn the economic developments of Singapore, which can actually be used as an example and help to find the city areas and all these things.
The greatest transportation woe faced by the people of Hanoi is undoubtedly that of traffic congestion. Now, considering the fact that over 90% of vehicles on the roads of Hanoi are motorbikes, there are 2 ways to do this. We can either discourage people from owning motorbikes, or we can give them an alternative to fall back on. and the number of things we can do to make this happen. We're going to implement bicycle lanes along with specialized traffic lights at junctions that will prioritize the flow of bicycle traffic.
We are from River Valley High School and we are here today to present our proposal for the preservation and conservation of the Old Quarter of Hanoi.
Modern architectural technology, the infrastructures of the two houses can be improved in order for the residents to live their lives in peace. Hence, an improvement or strengthening of the infrastructures is required in order for the residents to lead safe.
Every story will be happy in the end. If it's not happy, it's not the end. That's why we are here to save the day and give the story of the Old Quarter a happy ending. Before we begin our presentation proper, here are some brochures that our team has prepared for you.
Phase 1, Healthy Hanoi, will be carried out over 2 years. It aims to achieve the healthy functioning of the systems that will serve as a crucial foundation for the rest of the phases. In Phase 2, Hello Hanoi, we are focusing on the better quality of the tourism sector and the creation of the Old Quarter as a place to live, work and play in. In Phase 3, Happening Hanoi, we will work towards a sustainable Old Quarter through establishing greater environmental sustainability and a high level of international influence.
Our proposed aim is to address all the problems at the core and set the Old Quarter down the right path to create an eco-friendly and sustainable city. Our plan will be focused on 3 main aspects: transportation, energy and sanitation, and finally, heritage conservation. I will be talking about the first aspect of our proposal, which is the transportation.
Private donors would be the overseas Vietnamese or MNCs who are looking to enhance their reputation through corporate social.
Firstly, we believe in a top-down approach. After all, we want the Old Quarters to evolve in line with the government's plan for the economy of Hanoi as a whole. At the same time, we also believe in a ground-up approach, where we harness the principles of design thinking to address the fundamental questions and the fundamental issues of the people in Hanoi.
Where is any reference you have? Any cities are doing? How do you come with this underground section?
Not much stuff should be changed there, except that the traffic over there is very, very messy. Plan is to implement 2 tourist routes around the city. Not much construction will be done, except that we will facilitate the traffic over there, and also we will make it clean, green, and also safe for the tourists to move around.
Yeah, and later on you can change aircon.
Do you think aircon is green?
No, it's not green. That's why I suggest that we have a green roof that you constantly bring down.
And on the other hand, the disadvantages would be the relocation of affected properties, certain land acquisition, and not all the owners will actually comply to it. So the solution would be, during the alteration process, the residents in the shophouse will be relocated to a temporary holding site, and after the alteration is completed, the residents will actually be relocated back to the new altered shophouses.
As can be seen from this picture, you can see that Park A is actually located at a plot of land that was a sandbank at the right of this picture, followed by Park B, which is located relatively near to the reservoir and the university.
Project funding is definitely we need a multinational corporation to come in to actually invest in the government, to actually help the government to.
We'll be presenting to you on the transformation of the Old Quarter of Hanoi into a cleaner and greener town. On the left here is the actual Old Quarter area. On the right that you see here is the newly developed area. The purpose behind the construction and design is to actually redevelop and modernize it into a more metropolitan settlement and yet retain its authentic features.
Thank you.